All right, chat, we got another video here from Omniarch TV. Again, one more time, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the 1,000 subscribers. At the back end of this channel, if you guys are interested in giveaways and all that information and the memberships, make sure you go check out the back end of this video to help me out in deciding what we're going to do. So you guys sent me this video on Reddit or on Discord. Remember, send me the videos on Discord or on Reddit, and I'll be able to check them out and we'll respond to them and react. So this one is something that a few of you sent me, so let's check it out, see what Omni has to say, and then we'll talk about it.
Nintendo's greedy pricing strategy is backfiring again, ladies and gentlemen, and this time they may have pissed off more than just gamers. You see, 2025 will be known as the year that gamers could no longer afford their favorite franchises, and it all started with Nintendo when they decided to raise the prices of their games, their older consoles, and their accessories. But today, a concerning picture is being painted by Nintendo's retail partners, one that quietly reveals their manipulation of the gaming industry in ways that very few people understand. So today we're going to dive deep to figure out what exactly is going on and why things might not be as good as Nintendo wants you to believe. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Now, real quick, I just want to thank everybody who's been using the new hype feature. You guys recently got one of my videos to number.
We can get that hype feature now since we got 1,000 subs, bro. This is like a new feature I've never even seen before.
Goes to number 47 in the entire United States, which is just mind-blowing. So thank you. So today's story actually starts about a week ago when Nintendo revealed the sales numbers from their most recent quarter. I actually covered this in one of my most recent videos, talking about how well the Nintendo Switch 2 is apparently selling, but specific sales data for one game in particular was actually a bit of a red flag for me, and that was none other than Donkey Kong Bonanza, because as you can see here, Nintendo's official investor relations website.
This is going to be interesting. I think this is why you guys sent this to me. We've been talking a lot about their numbers recently in the last few videos. I don't know, we've done like maybe 4 sales videos recently. Where I think this video is going, it's going to talk about the huge gap here, but let's see what this is.
Site reveals that they shipped 3.49 million units of Donkey Kong Bonanza, but if you dive a little bit deeper into their presentation, they reveal that Donkey Kong Bonanza actually only sold 2.6 million units in its first 12 weeks. Now, this actually confused a lot of people. Everyone was going around saying, oh my god, Donkey Kong Bonanza sold 3.5 million units, but that's just not true. Nintendo literally admits that that is not true. The sell-through.
So one of the big debates now in the Nintendo world is, does it matter? Like, some people have been saying in my comments, like, oh, before everybody started jumping on the Nintendo hate, they didn't care about like sell through or sell in, because it doesn't matter if it goes to a retailer's hands or a player's hands, which I guess you'd have to really see what the deal is with the retailers. Some retailers have a clause where if they don't sell the items, they will ship it back to the manufacturer. So they only pay for what sells. So some things are like that. I'm not sure if that's the same way with Nintendo, though. I don't know if that's the same way with electronics. But that's why when you go to a store and you return it, the store doesn't take the loss. They send it back to the manufacturer, and they either send them a refund or a renewed item. So this is something that we'd have to look at Nintendo. I don't know, though. I should probably look this up before the next video, to be honest. But if there are 3.5 million shipped, and that means that there's going to be 900,000 copies sitting on the shelves, that's not primarily a good sign. But if we're to say that, oh, it sold 3.5 million because they're in the retailer shelves, then that's a different story. If they can't return them, if the retailers can't return them, it doesn't really matter how Nintendo gets their money. If it's in the retailer's hands or the consumer's hands, the only thing that hurts is the longevity of the relationship with the retailers. They might start ordering less, and therefore we'll have like a Digimon Time Story situation where in Japan they ordered an X amount. They predicted, I think it was like 250,000 or something like that. Or no, it's 22,000 that they predicted. Oh no, 25,000 they predicted, and they sold 24, I think 23,000. So it was like relatively close. But a lot of stores are going sold out. A lot of stores are sold out. So they had to go to multiple stores to find it. That's something that we might see in the future if things like this can continue. But I do think they might have a return policy. Like I said, I'll check that up after this video, but I really do think they do. But there's a lot of discourse right now in the community about this 3.5 and 2.6, or like the Switch sold 10 million versus actually like 6 or 7 million. What are the real numbers? So there's a lot of discourse about that.
Rate of Donkey Kong Bonanza was only 2.6 million. So this had me raising an eyebrow, right? Like, what about the other million units? They shipped another 1 million units worldwide, and they're just, what, are they on store shelves, or did they sell in October? Maybe like they sold another million in October. I don't know, maybe that's possible. But one thing is,
I believe they're on the shelves, guys. I think they're sitting at Target shelves right now.
abundantly clear here, they shipped way more units of Donkey Kong Bonanza than it actually sold, according to Nintendo themselves. Let me just be abundantly clear, Donkey Kong Bonanza selling 2.6 million units is still incredibly successful. Okay, I don't want to see anybody in the comment section below saying, oh my god, Omniarch saying that the game didn't sell well. No, the game sold well, but it did not sell 3.5 million.
But did it though? Did it sell well? If there are 10 million, you know, let's just say there's 8 million Switch 2s out there right now. So that's 2.5, right? So it's like roughly what? It's 40, like 25%, something like that. So 25% off Switch 2 people bought the Donkey Kong. This is the hype game that just came out. Like, this is one of the first purchases that just came out. I think if we look back at like when the GameCube came out and Mario Sunshine came out, I'm pretty sure more people would have bought Mario Sunshine versus this game. When the Wii came out, they had Smash Brothers come out. The Smash Brothers, I'm sure, sold more than Donkey Kong in comparisons. So is it that great? Like 25% of the console holders bought this game? I don't know. When you compare it to Pokemon ZA, supposedly, again, there's the argument, there's 10 million sold, but that's the sell, you know, to the retailers, and then you have the actual numbers we don't know. The predictions by some people are 6 to 7 million. So let's say there's 7 million Switches out there, Switch 2s out there. We had what, 5.6 million ZA sold, 5.8 million, and about half of those were going to be Switch 2s. So that's kind of close to the Donkey Kong. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I think, you know, if the sell number is a 6 point something million, then this looks a little better, right? But still, you would think that the new Switch would have everybody's buying this new game because it's a brand new console. So it is good numbers overall, but I'm saying the release of something supposedly hyped, I'm not sure if it really is that great. I think it'd be like a mid-release, to be honest. I'd have to go look at all the other datas for the games I just stated. But I would just, my personal like opinion, just thinking off the top of my head right now, I would think those were more hype purchases than this game was. Like, I didn't even have a Switch 2, so I didn't even buy this game. So I bought all those other games, but I bought the console too. So
units, which begs the question, why would Nintendo rely on this data point alone? Well, the answer is to make the numbers look even better than they actually are. So what actually happens to those nearly 1 million extra units that have already been shipped to the retailers? Well, retailers will do anything that they can to move these units, and this is where we have to talk about Amazon as a major retailer partner for Nintendo, and in particular we have to talk about Woot.com. Now, if you guys don't know Woot.com, this is a subsidiary of Amazon. As you can see, it's literally in their logo. They were acquired by Amazon in 2010, and they are
I low-key don't have any idea what Woot.com is. I have no idea what this is, so this is all new. Do you guys know? I've never heard of this.
best known for a sales strategy called Deal of the Day. This is effectively a flash sale or fire sale of a particular product, and this is why people use Woot. They come to this website every single day to see if they could get a really good deal on a quality product. So what does this have to do with Nintendo? Well, as of today, Donkey Kong Bonanza, amongst other games that we're going to talk about in just a minute, is already on sale for $61.99. This is one of the flagship releases for the brand new Switch 2 console, and here we can see the game is already on sale before we even hit Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It's very—
So does that mean it's a good release, guys? The numbers are good? That already happening already indicates it's not good. I think a lot of this Nintendo Switch hype is being catered and manipulated because ZA is not doing that great. It already had a sale. Now Diddy Kong. I don't think these numbers are as impressive as we're told. But them having a sale, I think, is indicative of them having too many copies on hand. I think there are a million copies of this game sitting in boxes and shelves. I think this sale for sure is a clear sign of that.
Clear that this is not a price drop for the holidays because it is on woot.com. So let me explain to you guys how exactly Amazon uses Woot, right? Because to the uninformed, you may just see this and say, oh, the game's just on sale, who cares? But that's actually not why Amazon acquired Woot in the first place. They don't need another entire platform just to put a game on sale. No, that is not the strategy that Amazon takes here. Amazon uses woot.com for two reasons. First of all, Woot as a platform is a way for Amazon to test flash sales on certain products to see how well it actually performs. And two, Woot is a platform that Amazon uses to manage their overstock inventory and effectively liquidate it. And you guys do not have to take my word for it. There's literally evidence. Amazon using Woot as
if you have a product that does not require a sale to be moved, then you don't do it. You only do the sale because either it's a holiday event like Black Friday and you want to push more deals, I guess. But usually when there's a sale, it's because you're trying to move a product that's not moving.
part of its inventory liquidation strategy was reported on all the way back in 2020. We can see here Kent Stewart says, and I quote, "The relationship is very symbiotic with Amazon in a lot of ways. We help them with getting through an oversupply of product, for example, but unless we ask, they trust us and leave us alone to run the business." So then you might be asking, okay, well, who is Kent Stewart? He is literally the CEO of woot.com. So you have the CEO quoted saying that they help Amazon get through an oversupply of product. So this is not my speculation. This is literally how Amazon uses woot.com. And if we go a little bit further, back when Amazon acquired woot.com in 2010, articles pointed to the very fact that Amazon.com has acquired online discount retailer woot.com, a website that acquires inventory opportunistically from manufacturers and sells it online and offline. Another article back from the acquisition goes on to say that Woot is able to offer these items at substantial discounts thanks to an extensive back-end sales and distribution network that provides constant access to closeout items offered by manufacturers and other retailers. So what does this have to do with Nintendo and Donkey Kong Bonanza? Well, clearly either one of two things is happening. One, Nintendo offered a bunch of units of Donkey Kong Bonanza to Amazon at a steep discount to manipulate the 3.49 million units shipped number, or, and this is what I think most likely happened, is that Amazon simply found themselves with way more inventory of games like Donkey Kong Bonanza than they know what to do with, and they're using their subsidiary woot.com to quietly liquidate this inventory without it making headlines being discounted by Amazon themselves. But the thing is, it doesn't actually end with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, as you guys can see, this deal is already sold out. It was available in the United States and possibly other countries as well, but more Switch 2 games are on sale through Woot as well. Here you can see Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition plus Star-Crossed World is on sale from $80.
Dude, I don't think the Switch is as good as we're told. Like, that's just like, honestly, I think the Switch, I think that boycott that we had that was like shot down really fast by the sales numbers, I think that was actually more real than we think. I think it's like kind of a quiet boycott, to be honest, because they're fighting so hard to try to like negate that with all these like sales and all this like hype that what we're talking about in the beginning, blah blah blah. But now like things are starting to settle down, and you're seeing like people are it seems like people are rejecting this $80 crap. It seems like they're rejecting another console that's just like it's a mid upgrade. Like it seems like the fans, and I'm not sure if they're rejecting it out of like strength or just pure the fact that people don't have money anymore. Like everything is like the system is getting so corrupt that people are being drained everywhere. Like my electricity bill the other month was like $550, dude. I live alone. Like how is it $550? And like it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. I remember I saw a statement I had from 2020. My electric and gas was $180. Like, how did it go up so much, like so high in freaking 4 or 5 years? Like, everybody is just broke now, and it's not because of like their lack of ability to make money or funds. It's just the system is so rigged now, so everybody's hurting. Even people who have money are hurting because they can't go on their luxurious yacht trips anymore. It's like, oh, I can only go on once a year now instead of going once a month. Like, everybody's being affected by this, and I think this boycott is a real thing that's happening. I think it's a silent boycott, to be honest.
Down to $70. What's the matter, Nintendo? I thought people wanted $80 games. And just to be clear, these games are still selling really well. I mean, again, Donkey Kong Bonanza sold 2.6 million units in its first 3 months. That's a success story, right? But now that we understand how Amazon uses Woot.com as a way to liquidate overstocked inventory, it's clear that either Nintendo or Amazon themselves thought that they would actually be selling more of these units. So it's possibly the case that this isn't actually a demand issue, but more so a supply issue. Like, sure, people are buying Donkey Kong Bonanza, but they have way more supply than they know what to do with, and it goes beyond Kirby as well. We see Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition down from $80 to $70. So once again, we see the pricing strategy for the Switch 2 is backfiring once again. We've reported on this multiple times on the channel, but when they announced the Switch 2 and they said that some games would be $80, there was a ton of backlash from the community saying that, like, look, these games should not be $80, right? That's what everyone was saying. And even people who like the Switch 2 were saying things like, look, you know, $80 is pretty steep for a video game in 2025 when consumers are already super price sensitive. But games weren't the only thing that Nintendo tried to raise the price on. They also tried to raise the price on the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons. And here we can see on Woot.com, once again, Nintendo tries to sell them for $100 and Woot is...
What do you guys think it is? Do you guys think it is a silent boycott, like I'm saying? Maybe I'll make a video about the silent boycott, to be honest, because I think this is a real thing. I might have to do a little more research on this, but I think it might be real. I think this boycott might be real. But do you guys think it's a boycott, that everybody's just poor, or that Nintendo's just getting too greedy? Which one do you, or all three of them maybe? But like, this is clearly not going their way. And this is good because if Nintendo gets their way, they will change the whole landscape of gaming. If they could get away with selling $80 games, you know everybody else is going to be trying to sell $80 games. If they could get away with a console that's not really an upgrade, it's like a side upgrade for $500, you know they're going to come out, other consoles are going to start doing the same thing. So this is a big win for the consumer, but I'm not sure if the consumer even knows what they're doing. Like, I don't know if this is a boycott or people are just broke. So let me know in the comments which one you think this is, but this is a very, very positive thing that's going on.
Selling them for $90. So what does this mean? Well, does this mean that the Joy-Cons are selling poorly? Not necessarily. What it could mean is that Nintendo or Amazon had the idea that it would sell even more, and it left Amazon with all of this inventory that they're trying to get rid of. Now I know what you're saying. Look, Omniarch, this is just Amazon. Maybe they ordered too much from Nintendo and they're just trying to get rid of it. It's really just one point on the graph, right?
Wrong. You're wrong. We saw it in the Nintendo store the other day. You're wrong if you said that.
Actually, no, there is one other big retailer that is also putting Nintendo accessories on discount today, and this does point to an interesting trend. Now, one of the biggest announcements recently was the fact that Nintendo was actually going ahead and releasing an update for the latest Animal Crossing game. You see, this recent Animal Crossing update is the biggest update that they've released since sometime in 2021. Like, it has been years since Nintendo paid Animal Crossing New Horizons any love, and in fact, it was even such a big deal that they went out of their way to make an Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition for $64.99. You can actually pre-order this right now, but my point is that this was one of the biggest things to happen.
What a ripoff, dude. It's like, okay, I get it, you want to make an upgraded edition, but make it a DLC or something, you know, like, you already have the online store. Just say, hey, if you already have this IP, pay $30 more and it gets upgraded to the Switch 2 graphics. Like, $64, dude, come on. Like, we're not stupid. It doesn't take $64 to make that game. Like, the graphics they put into it wasn't $64. Like, what's going on here, dude?
To this Animal Crossing game in a while, and Nintendo actually tied some of their latest amiibo to the release of this new update. As you can see here, this was posted a couple of days ago. Nintendo reveals which specific Splatoon and Zelda amiibo unlock the Animal Crossing update's new villagers. Trust me, there's a point to all of this. I'll get to it in just a second, but the article goes on to say Nintendo has listed which specific Zelda and Splatoon amiibo unlock each of the new 4 themed villagers coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons major update. And as you can see, there is a tie-in here between Animal Crossing Crossing and The Legend of Zelda. We have Tulin and Mineru. Now naturally, one of the amiibo that you can use to unlock Tulin in Animal Crossing is actually the Tulin amiibo themselves from Tears of the Kingdom. Now we don't have an amiibo for Mineru, although some people are suggesting that we are getting one. I don't know if that was leaked or confirmed, or
I thought those Nemo things were done. I thought those were things of the past. I thought you used to buy those so you could put it on that little, like, that universe, like, what was it called, like Disney Universe or something. Is that something different? Like, those are still around. I thought the game was gone, so I didn't even know people were still buying these things.
or if it's just speculation. You guys can let me know in the comments if you know specifically. But one thing that we do know is that some amiibo are getting big discounts from the retailer Best Buy. Now, as you guys know, a few months ago we reported on a massive like 70 or 80% discount on tons of amiibo over at GameStop, and here we can see Best Buy is following in their footsteps. The Tulin amiibo, which is directly related to Tears of the Kingdom, and by the way, Zelda just had a spin-off game release with Hyrule Warriors, so Zelda is very prominent in the gaming industry at this exact moment, and this amiibo is relevant to the big Animal Crossing update, and yet we can see that Best Buy—
why would this ever be $30? Like, even 20 or 19.99, 20 bucks for this is still seems really ridiculous. But $30 for this crap? What is Nintendo doing? And there's another one on sale right there.
has it for 33% off. Normally it's $30 and they're selling it for $20, and this is once again another point on the graph that exposes the fact that Nintendo's price increases are backfiring. I mean,
weren't those used to be like $12 when they first came out? I think I used to get them for my little brother because he liked them. I thought they're dumb, but he used to like them. I think they were $12 when they first came out, and like not too long ago. How long ago? It was like 10 years maybe those things have been around or something like that. 20, so it's gone up to $30. Ridiculous.
if this thing was flying off the shelves, do you really think that they would have a 33% discount, especially when this is one of the newest amiibos to come out? This isn't like one that's been on the shelves since, you know, 2017. This amiibo is highly relevant in some of Nintendo's most recent games and updates, including Animal Crossing. And it's not just this. We see the Yunobo amiibo has the same discount as well. We see Riju has a discount, and we see that Sidon has a discount as well. Now, I may have mispronounced his name, I do apologize, but it actually goes a little bit deeper than that, folks. If we return our attention back to Amazon, and this time the actual Amazon platform, we can see that despite the latest massive update for Animal Crossing New Horizons, the game is actually on sale right now. So again, we return to this situation where it's like, okay, you release the biggest update since 2021 for Animal Crossing, and if this thing was flying off the shelves as a result of that, why is it discounted at Amazon already? And it goes even farther than that. Remember when Nintendo tried to raise their prices of the older Switch consoles and they made the Switch Lite $230? Well, Amazon is having to sell this thing for $188 because everyone knows that the Switch Lite is not worth $230. Nintendo tried to raise the price on this thing. It's an older console. The Switch 2 is already out. So retailers have all this inventory of stuff and Nintendo's telling them to raise the prices. It makes no sense at all. But actually, let's take a look at Pokemon Legends EA. The European version of this game is on sale right now on Amazon, 8% off. It's $54.90. All the Pokemon fanboys swear by this game, saying it's one of the best Pokemon games that they've ever played. So Pokemon is supposed to be hot right now. Why are they having to discount this thing?
Dude, I think I don't want to say it again, but I do think this is a boycott. I think the boycott's real. I think we're gonna make a video about it, boys. I think this is real. I'm convinced now that the Nintendo boycott is a real thing. That's why so many people, that's why all these Nintendo fans have been so like disgustingly angry and rude, because they know that there's a boycott going on. We, as like the people who are like, we should boycott it, and then when we saw the sales, we're like, oh, I guess nobody else freaking boycotted except for me. I feel like an idiot, right? But really, that was like millions of us saying that, because the fanboys, they know, because they're scared, because they have some weird allegiance to $1 billion company like Disney adults. Like, instead of, you know, critiquing them and asking for better, they're just gonna watch the ship sink and just like I don't know why, just freaking weird. But anyways, so they're aware of it because they're hyper like involved. They're hypersensitive, hyper involved to the Nintendo situation. So they have probably been aware about this real boycott, and they probably noticed it when they bought the Switch 2, and they're like talking to their group of friends saying, hey man, who got the Switch 2? And then like nobody replied. So they're probably the first ones to be like, oh crap, there's an issue going on with Papa Nintendo, with Daddy Nintendo. So they're probably the first ones, and now we're just starting to realize it, because this just can't be a single thing. This is happening for everything they own. Everything they own is going this way now. Like, this is crazy. This is a Nintendo problem now, not just a Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong 3.5 million versus 2.5. This is every game now. This is every game, every accessory, the consoles. So I think this is a boycott or a rejection, just a straight up rejection. People are done with Nintendo, which we see a lot of those in the comments. Like, I'm just effing done with Nintendo. F Nintendo. F them. Like, I think it's either that or the boycott, dude. It's real. 2025, it happened.
Just to move units. Oh, that's right, they're actually discounting tons of Pokemon stuff. Here you can see the Funko Pop for Charizard is 50% off. You could see the same thing is true for Charmander. We see a 20% discount.
Well, I'll give Nintendo the doubt on this one, benefit of the doubt. Funko is like going out of business, right? They're actually going bankrupt right now, so nobody buys Funkos.
Count on Bulbasaur. We see a 20% discount on Ceruledge. We see a 17% discount on the mini 4-pack featuring Jolteon, and a 17% discount on the 4-pack featuring Squirtle. And again, I want to be very clear, it's November 10th. They couldn't even wait for Black Friday or Cyber Monday to put these deals in place. Between these discounts and them trying to get rid of as many copies of Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as they can, it seems like Amazon is scrambling to get rid of their overstock, and they can't wait until Black Friday or Cyber Monday. They want to get this stuff moving right now. And the Pokemon fanboys will have you believe that Pokemon is having a moment right now. It's like super popular and everyone's loving it. Meanwhile, at least for the UK version, they're forced to discount it to sell for the Switch 1, and they're selling all of this Pokemon merchandise at a discount as well. Even Pikachu is 17% off, the mascot of the highest grossing media franchise in the world right now, and Pokemon's having a moment. Pokemon's on fire at this very moment in time. Really, even the Squirtle squad is on discount now. This Funko Pop,
again, it's Funko Pops. I'm not gonna put this on Nintendo.
Liquidation sale is actually a twofold problem, because not only are we seeing them have to discount Pokemon Legends ZA over in Europe, but also Funko itself is apparently not doing well. This was reported over on Kotaku. Funko Pop is $241 million in debt. As
see, that's why I probably wouldn't have brought this up at all in his argument, to be honest. You know, we love our boy Omni, but like, to be honest, I think this hurts his credibility with the story he's doing right now, because it's going to give fuel to the fanboys who are upset, and they're going to say, look, this guy is such a hater. He's going to bring up the most like nonchalant, minuscule things that he could bring up to correlate it to Nintendo's failure. But really, this is a Funko failure. Funko is literally failing in everything. So you could literally take his argument with the Funko Pops and say, okay, well, I guess Superman is failing. I guess DC is failing. And Marvel, well, they all are kind of failing. Marvel's failing. You know, Hello Kitty's failing, and you know, Winnie the Pooh's failing. You know, and those are like top franchises, so clearly they're not failing. So I think this is fuel to the haters of his channel, and fuel to the Nintendo bros who are looking for anything to like discredit your argument.
Issues dire warning: the collectibles company is crashing out. Last week, the Funko Pop company hit investors with a dramatic disclosure. Quote, there is substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern for the next 12 months. It revealed in its latest quarterly earnings report. This is the company warning that it's at increasing risk of defaulting on its loans. How much is that? Roughly $241 million. I don't think the banks will accept payment in the form of one-piece Funko Pops. The company revealed that it amended its credit agreement with JP Morgan Chase Bank back in July in an effort to waive certain requirements and buy time in order to refinance its debt under more manageable terms. That sounds reasonable, and the company is certainly spinning this situation as business as usual, but it's also saying in no uncertain terms that there is a decent chance it won't be able to pay out everyone it owes by the end of the next 12 months unless something big changes. The article goes on to say the numbers are bad. Funko Pop lost $1 million last quarter.
I've never been a Funko collector, so it doesn't really mean anything to me. I always thought Funko was stupid, to be honest. I always thought it was a waste of money. I thought it was a fad, so I'm not shocked at the least with this stuff, and I'm not like, I really don't care about this stuff, to be honest. It was just a fad that comes and goes, in my opinion.
A harsh drop from the over 8 million in profit it made a year ago. Why is the collectible company tumbling off a cliff? You might think it has something to do with losing certain big licenses to competitors or flooding the market with way more junk than even the most diehard fans are willing to absorb, but the biggest kiss of death came back in the spring in the form of President Trump's trade war. Tariffs hit sales of cheap toys manufactured overseas hard. So Funko Pop looks like they might be in a little bit of trouble, ladies and gentlemen, and yet here we see Amazon is fire selling some of what you might expect to be the best selling Funko Pop figures, right? I mean, it's Pokemon. Surely everyone's gonna buy all the Pokemon stuff because right now it's super popular, right? With Legends EA. I don't know, folks. I think there's a little bit of manipulation.
Again, I think it's Funko. Funko sucks, so it doesn't really apply. Even if you have a crappy product and it has Pokemon on it, it's still not gonna sell just because it's Pokemon. I know how silly that sounds when we just had ZA come out, but you know, it's just a Funko thing. I don't think it's a Nintendo thing
Going on here, and between Amazon, Best Buy, and the Amazon subsidiary Woot, I'm starting to think that Nintendo has pushed tons of inventory onto these retailers so that way they can make their investor relations information look really good. And the crazy part is that it actually worked. When this quarterly financial information came out, everyone was going around saying, oh my god, Donkey Kong Bonanza sold 3.5 million, even though like they literally said it didn't. I'm not even spinning the numbers. Nintendo said it didn't. They said it sold 2.6. It's still a massive success, but it's off by 1 million units, 900,000 to be specific, okay? And if they're going to be spinning the Donkey Kong numbers that hard, how hard are they spinning the Nintendo Switch 2 sales numbers, right?
I think this one is the real one to be looking at, to be honest. I would like to see the actual shelf numbers.
Everyone went around saying, oh, it sold 10.36 million units, and it's like, maybe it did by now, right? I mean, I've said multiple times on this channel that the Switch 2 has sold incredibly well. Everyone paints me as this negative Nintendo grifter when I have been very consistent with my message about the Switch 2 sales. You can even go back and look at my videos before the Switch 2 came out, and I said that this thing was going to sell super well. And down below, I will still get the troglodytes saying, oh, why isn't he talking about the Switch 2 sales numbers? It's like, buddy, I've talked about Switch 2 sales numbers like every other week, and if you actually watched the videos, you would know that I'm saying the Switch 2 sells well, but that doesn't erase the fact that the 10.36 million units that they reported over on Nintendo's website is units that they shipped to retailers. Is it an impressive number? Absolutely. Do we know exactly how many Switch units actually were purchased by customers? No, we do not know that number. So all I'm saying here is that Donkey Kong Bonanza, very successful. Switch 2, very successful, but clearly there's some manipulation going on with the numbers when the headline says 3.5 million, but the fine print says actually it's 2.6. It just makes me raise an eyebrow. That's all. How many Switch 2 units were actually bought?
I think if we know, like I said earlier in this video, if we know the actual policy they have with these retailers, which I don't think they have a return policy. I don't think Nintendo, the electronics, have a if it doesn't sell, we'll take it back kind of thing. If that's the case, then it really doesn't matter, like from financial reasons, if it's a sell in or sell out. Nintendo's going to get their money anyways, but it matters for the actual growth, the health of the company. If you have Walmart buying 50 million Switches and you have 10 million people buying it and you have like 40 chilling, I'm using exaggerated numbers, of course, but you have 40 chilling on the shelves, that's not a good product, right? So even now, some people are saying it's maybe 6 or 7 million. Well, that's not great. That's only 60%, 70% of your stock that was actually allocated to the fan base. So that means like there's a lot of people like me who chose not to buy it out of what a boycott. They don't agree with the pricing. They can't justify supporting a company that's trying to push video games in a new era, the $80 era. Like, just screw that, dude. I ain't doing that, and I think a lot of people are the same way.
Bought by customers. I would love to know that number. It's probably still really good, right? It is still probably really good, but now that we see big retailers trying everything that they can to move some of the units of the software and of the accessories, I don't know, it just makes me wonder what other manipulation is going on behind the scenes when it comes to shipping units to retailers and their pricing strategy that obviously is, well, to be honest, we've seen multiple instances now of retailers having to address this pricing strategy in what could be considered a reality check for Nintendo. And just to really hammer my point home, all of the price drops that we've covered by these big retailers in this video so far is not part of a Black Friday deal. This is a Black Friday deal. This was actually announced, I believe, today from Nintendo themselves. They said from now through November 29th, find deals starting at $29.99 MSRP on the following Switch games at participating retailers. So it looks like Nintendo actually is participating directly with their
bro. They should have put the Switch on sale. Maybe I would have bought it for Black Friday.
Retailers when it comes to what is on sale for Black Friday. Now I'm sure the retailers get the final say, they decide what the prices are, but it looks like this is going to be in coordination with lots of different retailers. We see Nintendo Switch Sports, Super Mario Odyssey, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Splatoon 3, Princess Peach Showtime, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, all of which are Switch 1 games on sale for $30. Now there are some heavy hitters here that are definitely worth picking up if you can get a really good deal on them. Like if you've never played Mario Odyssey, this is a great time to get your hands on it. Furthermore, for Cyber Monday,
who hasn't played Mario Odyssey if you're a Nintendo's fan? Like, why would that even be one of the games they're offering on sale? Like, who hasn't played it? If you're a Nintendo fan, you've played it. Like, why are we getting that game on sale? Like, what a dumb move.
Announced that there's a $20 discount on the following micro SD express card for the Nintendo Switch 2 system when you shop at participating retailers. All of this was revealed in an article by Business Wire that says Nintendo is offering new promotions, game discounts, and in-store events to help make holiday gatherings more memorable. Plus, visit the official Nintendo San Francisco and Nintendo New York stores for holiday fun starting mid-November, and enjoy festive decor, gift with purchase offers while supplies last, and an all-new exclusive winter collection. This new line of merchandise includes cozy attire, accessories, and more that have a distinct Nintendo feel with Nintendo characters and designs. I live in New York City. Okay, I've been to the Nintendo New York store. It's nice going in, right? I like the store. I usually stop in whenever I'm in the area, which typically...
You know, it's funny. He says he lives in New York. I literally saw his background. I was like, I wonder where this guy lives. I thought he lived in San Francisco. I thought this was a San Francisco apartment.
Isn't very often. I mean, usually if you live in New York, you're not going to like Rockefeller Center very often, at least not the real New Yorkers. Okay, we try to stay as far away from that place as possible, but when I am in the area, I do pop into the Nintendo store just to see. And honestly, over the last couple of years, I feel like the store is just a lot more boring than it used to be. Like the merchandise is more boring, the upstairs has way less Pokemon stuff. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like what it used to be. So when they say that there's going to be, you know, festive decor, I mean, the last time they said there was special decor, it was for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it was just like a cardboard cutout, like a big pop-up thing. It's like, I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. Like this article makes it...
Maybe when I go to New York, I want to go next year for sure. Maybe I could hit him up and be like, hey bro, let's talk about making a podcast. We can hate on Nintendo together, bro. Every Friday night.
Sound like they're completely revamping the store to make it look like a winter wonderland. It's like, it's just going to be a couple of posters on the windows, you know what I mean? But anyway, holiday offers are available at select retailers, the Nintendo stores, as well as online on the My Nintendo store, Nintendo eShop. So let me be clear, all this stuff fantastic, right? If you want to get some of these games, this is a great time. Wait for this discount to kick in, right? Of note, the Switch 2 stuff is not on sale, okay, which is another point on the graph when I talk about, you know, the stuff that we mentioned in this video with woot.com, that's clearly not part of Black Friday. All their Black Friday stuff is on Switch One things, at least from what we know so far. But the article goes on to say that all of these games being $30 is going to start November 23rd at select retailers. Now, this last Nintendo topic that I want to cover here is one that doesn't warrant its own entire video, but it is something that I wanted to just touch on here, and that is the fact that it looks like Pillsbury leaked some official artwork and possibly the plot line of the Mario Galaxy movie. Here you can see that Pillsbury's ready to bake pre-cut sugar cookies are in the shape of a Yoshi egg, which I honestly I think that's adorable.
Dog, I'm not for Nintendo's ways, what they're doing right now, but I did like the movie. I did like the Nintendo movie, you know, the Super Mario movie. I might see the movie even though I'm hating on Nintendo. Like, I don't know. I don't really go to the movies that often anymore. I wait for it to go on streaming. So I saw it on streaming. I didn't go see it in theaters. So maybe I'll wait for it to get on like Amazon or Paramount Plus, wherever it's going to be. But it was a pretty good movie, dude. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
And everybody knows that these sugar cookies are addicting. You might bite into it and think, oh, it's average, and the next thing you know, you've downed 6 or 7 of them. Okay, we've all been there. Let's just be honest with ourselves. All right, but anyway, here we get to see Yoshi confirmed. Okay, Yoshi's literally on the top of the box right here, and his massive face is right there, but the back of the box reveals a couple of things that are actually shocking and extremely startling. The number one being that 2 of these cookies is 100 calories and 16 grams of sugar with not a gram of protein in sight. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what to say. You're telling me every time I've eaten 8 of these cookies I've down 400 calories? Jesus Christ. Okay, but in all seriousness though, the back of the box does actually reveal something that Nintendo probably didn't want revealed. Maybe, possibly. It says, help Mario and Yoshi trace the shortest path to visit every planet and soar across the galaxy. And here we can see what are probably going to be some key locations in the movie, right?
Bro, he should have made a video of this. This is actually pretty, this is like some pretty awesome news, no?
Different planets, and obviously part of the plot of the movie is going to be flying to multiple planets and soaring across the galaxy, as you might expect from the name of the literal movie. But I just find it hilarious that earlier in the year the Mario Galaxy movie was leaked by literally Old Spice, and now we're seeing potential plot points or at least locations in the movie being leaked by Pillsbury. Like, what is even happening? Like, this is insane. I think they're trying to tell you gamers something. Okay, they probably want you to put on some more deodorant so that way you can smell like the scent of smashed fruit Brooklyn Bounce. I'm gonna be real with you, okay? Brooklyn does not smell like smashed fruits. Very far from it. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, consider dropping a thumbs up down below. Really helps out the channel a ton, and you might think that you're subscribed but you're actually not. Just double check.
All right, guys, so Omniarch TV, make sure you guys are also subscribed to him as well. We're gonna be watching this one from him as well after this probably. But yeah, guys, that's the video. A lot of new information there. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little repeat from stuff we've already talked about, but he showed a lot of stuff that are on sale. It was a really good video, and it is kind of alarming to see that all these things are on sale. It's not a good sign for the company, and it goes to show you that things are not as peachy as they think they are. Pun intended. We're not in the thriving Nintendo era. It just cannot be. It just cannot be the truth. If you have the franchise, like the peak franchise game, ZA already on sale, you have Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong already on sale, you have the Mario Kart sales dropping. Things are not going well, I don't think, for the Switch 2 release, and it's great. Like, I'm all for it. And all the people who are like Nintendo bros, like, low key, you're being dumb. Like, honestly, I'll just say it. You're being stupid. You're being extremely stupid. Because what's going on right now, if you are a huge fan of Nintendo, that's great. So am I. So is everybody else talking about it. But if you continue to eat this slop, you're going to be pushing us into a gaming industry where games are no longer affordable, and you're only going to be able to select maybe a few games a year to play. You're actively screwing us over by cheering on Nintendo. You are actively promoting an $80 game. You are promoting this destructive re-releasing content for $70, $65, when really it should just be a small update for $20, if that. Like, this is not, we're not going in a good place. Nintendo's not taking the gaming industry in a good place. And you guys are actively supporting this, which will actively destroy gaming. And I get it. A lot of Nintendo fans, like, I'll be honest, I don't really see a lot of Nintendo like fanboys as gamers. Like, I just see them as like a Disney adult or a Nintendo adult. So like, I don't really think of them as like a gamer. Like, they're probably not playing like Skyrim. They're not playing like all these other like hardcore games and stuff. They're not playing Dark Souls, stuff like that. They're not playing these games. They're playing kiddie Nintendo games. So I get it that they're maybe not like real like hardcore gamers, but like you guys have to still understand that you're destroying a franchise, you're destroying an industry if you give into it. So I am relieved to see that a lot of people seem to not be doing it though. Like, I think this boycott is real. I'll do a little more research on it. We might make a video about it, because this is a good topic to talk about, because this boycott was supposed to hit hard right when it was released, and then all the positive feedback, all the positive numbers destroyed any conversations of that boycott within like a day. So maybe that was all like planned. Maybe it was all orchestrated that way. But all right, guys, so I am going to ask you guys to drop me a comment below if you made it this far, because clearly if you're this far into the video, you are a fan of me and the channel. And I want to ask you guys about memberships. So we have got 1,000 subscribers. Again, appreciate all of you who helped. And what I'm thinking about doing is, for the memberships, I'm going to have maybe 2 tiers, where one tier will be like a cheaper option just to get like access to the membership videos. I'm thinking about doing like watch-alongs for animes, member streams only, stuff like that. And then the higher tier, I'm not sure if I could split them off this way, so I have to look into it. But like the higher tier, I was thinking about doing giveaway tier, like, because I want to do giveaways on the channel. But once you do a giveaway in the public on YouTube, there's people who are like professional YouTuber giveaway people. They just look all day for giveaways. So I don't want to give it, like, I don't want to give out like $50 to Steam. Like, if I did 3 of those, I don't want them to go into randoms. I want to go to the community. I don't want like, oh, Kirby Air Riders is out. Let's give out 3 copies or 2 copies to the community, and like it goes to some random guy reselling it. Like, I don't want that. So I was thinking about like the membership tier having like, oh, if you are part of this membership, we do like a giveaway either once a month or like on when new releases come out. And if the channel starts generating some good revenue and stuff, I could start doing like, maybe like, let's just be hypothetical here. Let's say the channel was doing well, and I've already been doing this for a while. When the PlayStation 5 came out, I would have been able to do a couple PS5 giveaways, or the Switch 2, I could have done a couple console giveaways. The dream is to do a very good PC, a strong PC, but we'll get there eventually, hopefully. But that's what I'm thinking. So if you guys have any ideas for the membership tiers, or what what I should include, let me know. But that's what I'm thinking right now, like more like member streams and videos where we just talk about random stuff, hang out, more personal. And then where we could do like YouTube has free movies. We could do like a watch along with free movies on YouTube together, or like if you guys have Netflix as well or whatever, we could watch on the streaming apps. And then maybe some like streaming gameplays just specific to you guys only. And then the giveaways. So that's what I'm thinking. So let me know in the comments below, guys. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for everything. I just want to be able to keep growing and get to the point where I don't have to take a couple days off here like I just did to go to work. But hopefully we could just make this full time, so I can make content every day and hang out with you guys, and we just keep building together. So appreciate you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. You guys subscribe to both of us, and I'll see you for the next one.